live from scenic Indiana. This is the third annual Andes, the award show for film and. I'm Dan, your host, and I'm joined by podcast personality and filmmaker Connor, the previous host of Film and. Connor, thank you so much for joining.
And you're welcome, Dan. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah.
Hey guys. As Dan mentioned, we are coming from scenic Indiana.
Yes.
And there's birds here.
There are many birds. You know, I wasn't expecting to see them here in Indiana, but
Yeah.
here they are.
No, we tried to get rid of them. Didn't work.
Nope. We tried.
We're like Australia. We have a bounty on birds.
A bird bounty.
Yeah. Welcome. We said at the exact same time.
That was weird. Welcome back to the Andes.
The Andes.
This is our third go around on it. We are now celebrating the films of 2021.
I know. Wild times.
Yeah. It is a wild thing indeed.
Nev Campbell.
Denise Richards?
Matt Dillon?
Kevin Bacon?
Bill Murray?
Oh god, Bill Murray's in that. I don't know anyone. I don't remember anyone.
That's pretty much all the main cast. Yeah.
That's the main cast. But yeah, we are back. Obviously, with the Andes 10 categories. If you've listened to our nominations episode, I hope you have for some context. But we're going through them all. It is a pleasure to be, I guess, just recognizing these either 5 people or movies or actors, directors, anyone we mention in a category that we feel have been kind of our favorite performances and just aspects of a film this year. I mean, and for me, there's a lot of heavy hitters.
There are, yeah.
It wasn't easy narrowing it down, but that's just how we roll here.
Yeah,
at the
exactly.
Andes. It's just how we shoot
the Andes, the award show that matters.
The award show that matters. But listen, for anyone who might be listening in on the rest of season 6, if Connor does in fact get a response back, a speech, anything from the winners of these categories, as always, I will mention them at the beginning of an episode.
Yeah.
Whenever he gives me the news. Don't expect this at all.
No, don't.
But
no. Unless I run into insert name in person in the wild near future. I'm not going to have it. They're not going to know I exist to receive their certificates or get a speech.
First category.
Yes.
The actual film and created category.
Yeah.
Best production.
The nominees for best production are Dune, Spencer, West Side Story, The French Dispatch, and Nightmare Alley. Hey, sorry I'm out of breath. I had to grab an envelope from one of our accountants. He was on Twitter again.
Yep.
That is a reference to the 2017 Academy Awards.
Oh no.
But I made sure this one does not say Emma Stone.
Good.
And the Andy goes to West Side Story.
There it is. Congratulations to West Side Story on the win. My goodness. And I think why West Side Story won this is just the fact that the costumes and the set design and how everyone are shown in this kind of mid-century teenager New York City just aesthetic. Oh, it's spot on.
Yeah, if you watch any featurettes, the amount of research and detail work that went into the costumes and everything is insane.
And it's kind of funny because we both love this movie.
Yeah.
And I personally, I'm not sure if you do, but I love the original.
I think the original's okay. I've never loved the original.
I love the original. I think Steve, friend of the show, is also kind of in my camp of loving the original West Side Story. So for me, sometimes this movie tries even harder than the first one to be of that period, because West Side Story was made kind of during the period it kind of takes place. It's New York in the 50s.
Because the show was Broadway in 57 and the movie was 61,
Correct.
Right? Okay.
Yeah. So I find that very interesting. That one, the original West Side Story, almost feels like it's trying to divert from what just regular 60s culture looks like, and it almost kind of stylizes it and turns it into something a bit more theatrical. But what Spielberg did with it is he goes for realism. He goes for something that feels accurate and is accurate, and this is, it's coming from a guy who grew up loving this movie, and you can feel that. you know?
Yeah, the guy who was like one of the first vinyls he had was like the Cast soundtrack.
Yep.
And he'd tell a story of like swearing in front of his parents because there were lyrics in West Side.
Yeah. Our next category is Best VFX. The nominees are Dune, Zack Snyder's Justice League, Last Night in Soho, The Beatles, Get Back, and The Suicide Squad. And the winner is The Beatles, Get Back.
Here's the thing. There's some jeering in the Andes community right now.
I can hear in the crowd right now that there is a lot of mixed emotions.
Mostly one Steve being like, "What?"
Oh,
it's the Tim Allen like, "What?" That's actually pretty good.
Thank you.
Here's the thing. This is not a traditional V effect. We acknowledge that.
We acknowledge that for like a good couple minutes in the nominations episode.
And if you are in Steve's camp of thought, which I'm like 18% there.
I'm like a 25%
It's
there.
not really like a V effect. It's ruining film preservation, which I don't think it's ruining film preservation. It's a different avenue of film preservation.
Exactly.
And obviously it's not preservation. It's transformation in a weird way.
It's stylization at a point.
Yeah.
But also not to a point where it's just like you're making something
I'm not
insane.
saying like they should redo Dr. Caligari with this AI algorithm. That's not what I'm saying at all.
No.
What I'm saying is like, and I'm trying to say by this win, is this technology is unprecedented and so very interesting that these AI algorithms to, I guess what I'm trying to say is clarify, the image and sound. Where I've seen the original film they actually were zeroing from and listened to the original audio, and that this work with the AI software is bonkers.
Oh, it's crazy. Yeah.
If I'm not using the right terminology, it's because I'm a big dum-dum. I make movies. I do not do algorithms. I'm not nearly smart enough.
Yeah, we're not in the game department at Champlain.
No, we are film department.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess moving on. What is our next category?
The next category is Best Cinematography.
Ooh.
No, this was a rough one. It's every year kind of deciding the 5 nominees, kind of rough, and
yeah, because we're coming from I came from like 10 to 15 films I'd be happy to put in here. I chalked it down to like 9 and then to 7 and to 6 and we finally got to 5.
To our final 5,
somehow.
And this one, before we announced the winner, it wasn't a nail-biter. It was very much a split decision between 2 of these films. Yeah. And the nominees are Joshua James Richards for Nomadland, Bruno Debanel, The Tragedy of Macbeth, Claire Mathon for Spencer, Janusz Kaminski for West Side Story, and Robert Yeoman for The French Dispatch. And the Andy goes to Claire Mathon for Spencer.
Nice. Yeah. All right. Agreed.
Yes, we decided it. Yes.
Literally, we agreed.
For those at home who are wondering, my initial first choice was Janusz Kaminski for West Side Story. Yeah. And this will kind of be our honoring the other nominees by just going through our process. Yeah. But Janusz is bonkers. The puddle shot in West Side Story is deserving of every accolade in the world all by itself. The opening shot. Oh, every shot. The dance in the gym, the bathroom shot, the rumble itself. Joshua James Richards for Nomadland. Well, he was on top of my list. Just insane.
So good.
Obviously, it was nominated, and I believe, did it win last year? What did it lose to if it didn't win?
Oh, Mank.
Oh, yucky.
That's sad.
I don't like Mank.
Eric Messerschmidt from Mank. Wow, yeah. I really forget last year's Oscars.
No offense to Eric Messerschmidt. What was his name?
Eric Messerschmidt.
Oh, I thought you swore again. Bruno Debanel for Tragedy of Macbeth. That thing's bonkers. Insane. Every frame of painting is very true for Tragedy of Macbeth. Yeah. Robert Yeoman, who was like
your number one pick.
Your number one.
A bit begrudging because I don't want to just give it to the Wes Anderson movie. I know there's a stigma behind that because the second we said best cinematography, all the film bros ears pricked up. This is the category for it because it looks cool.
It looks great.
But oh my god, French Dispatch he's playing with his influences in such a new direction. And I'm talking about the neorealism of Italy, the French New Wave. All of it is just coming through in a very new lens. And this is coming from the same cinematographer. Like, they just continue to explore these new pockets of Wes Anderson's aesthetic in such an interesting way. I mean, how they play with location, A lot of really cool tracking shots that I haven't really seen in a Wes Anderson before. And for a couple times, finally, we're getting like handheld.
Yeah.
Which is like when you get to see Wes Anderson like actually loosen up a bit and see something a bit grittier. Like there's a shot during the first portion, the alt deal, when Benicio del Toro is kind of coming at. I mean, my favorite shot with the wheelchair and chasing after Adrian Brody. But there was a handheld shot in there where Adrian Brody is like pissed at him that he did the thing to the paintings that he did.
Yeah.
And it's handheld and it's so shaky and it's jarring and it's so different from the like cool and calculated and just like methodical like geometry of Wes Anderson.
Yeah.
And he's pushing his boundaries just a little bit. And I love to see that. So that's why he was my number one.
Yeah. And then obviously the winner. Claire Mathon for Spencer.
Beautiful.
Incredible 16 millimeter work. Looks absolutely beautiful.
I don't think this movie's as good if it's not shot the way it is.
No.
If
this was boring and digital, it would not have nearly the same effect.
It wouldn't have as much of a punch because there's this like soft kind of nostalgic happy feeling to it.
Yeah.
And you'd also know what Princess Diana, where she is in her life and what she's dealing with. And it's this just beautiful dichotomy that they play with throughout the entire film. It's just insane.
Ready for the next category, Dan?
Next category, we got Best Score. And the nominees are Spencer, Johnny Greenwood, Dune, Hans Zimmer, The Cold Counter, Robert Levon Bean and Giancarlo Volcano, Judas and the Black Messiah, Mark Isham and Craig Harris, and Last Night in Soho, Stephen Price. And the winner is Johnny Greenwood for Spencer. Congrats, well deserved. The second back-to-back Spencer
win,
yeah.
Nomination and win for Spencer.
Yeah, a well-deserved score. Obviously, Johnny Greenwood of Radiohead fame. Really cool to see his just orchestrations over the years and what he's done for him. He's done many soundtracks, and they've all been pretty powerful. And this one just really captures the narrative well. I mean, it's hard to say anything else, really.
Yeah.
I mean, this is just a good score.
It's very like sweet and classical, and then it's just the most insane jazz. Because it's what Diana was going through. She's expected to be this like regal, elegant figure, and she's just being torn apart, and her life's in chaos. Yeah, which it really works.
Yeah. So obviously great.
Yeah.
Other nominees: Dune with Hans Zimmer. Very visceral score that works great for the outlandish narrative.
I mean, I do the like the like all the time.
I like the
the throat singer guy.
Throat singer. Yeah, that is.
I saw a meme when the Oscar noms came out, and he was like, he was snubbed, and it was just the throat singer guy from Dune.
Yeah, no, it's great. Cold Counter, I think something people might not have picked up on this year.
Yeah.
Well, Cold Counter in general, but Judas and Black Messiah, awesome. Last Night in Soho, obviously.
Yeah.
Again, you know, when you're walking into an Edgar Wright film, the score is going to be. The music is so integral to it, you know.
Yeah.
So I guess we will take now a quick PSA break, and we will be back with the final 6 categories: the actors and the director and picture, after a quick word from Sodexo.
Running late to class but still need that morning caffeine or hot breakfast to start your day out right? Download the Bite app by Sodexo and place your custom order for fast, easy pickup at Zyme. Open 8:30 a.m. to 3 o'clock p.m. Mondays through Fridays.
And welcome back to the 3rd annual Andes. We have 6 categories left. I am joined by Connor, and we are going in now to Best Supporting.
This is Best Supporting Actress. I laugh because my cat just came into the studio.
Yes, we are currently in the To Watch To Read studios.
Yeah.
And we now have a very special walk-on guest to the Andes. Hello, Bucky.
Yeah. Bucky's his nickname. Here. He'll let me present it. It's our guest presenter today, my cat, Draco. And the nominees for Best Supporting Actress are Riley Keough, Zola, Ariana DeBose, West Side Story, Alicia Vikander, Blue Bayou, Dominique Fishback, Judas in The Black Messiah, and Catherine Hunter, The Tragedy of Macbeth. And the Andy goes to Catherine Hunter, The Tragedy of Macbeth.
Yeah. What do you think of that, Draco?
He's looking at Dan very skeptically.
You don't agree? You don't like it? Come on, it's all about... You're a black cat. Tragedy Macbeth, it's all about...
Why are you stereotyping my cat, dude?
Yeah, because...
For those of you who don't know, Draco is a black cat.
I also have a black cat, and they're very superstitious.
They're very connected to witches in popular culture, yes.
And the witch, the 3 witches from Macbeth just won. You should be thrilled.
Yeah. Draco was also Team Ariana DeBose, like me. He's a big West Side fan.
Okay. Right.
But anyway, yeah, Catherine Hunter, just getting her out of the way, the winner. Very great. She's only like 3 scenes in the whole movie, and
4.
she just steals each of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because she's the witches in 2 of them, and she's the old man in the other 2, right?
Mm-hmm. And it's a very powerful character that Joel Coen adapts Catherine Hunter to play pretty much various parts. You know, she's not just the witches, but she plays 3 different witches as well as other supporting creepy characters that really build this world out. And just Catherine Hunter's body acting, her voice acting is just massively impressive. I'm happy that she's able to walk away with an Andy this year.
Yeah, and hopefully this gives her a lot more opportunities too, because she's not someone you really see a lot. Very accomplished theater actor and stuff.
Yeah.
But she's not really in like mainstream film, really.
Yeah.
Because the only thing I know her from outside of this is Harry Potter, where she's the neighbor that saves Harry and Dudley from the Dementors in Order of the Phoenix.
Big role. Yeah.
But thank you, Draco, for stopping by.
Yes, thank you, Draco, as always, for giving us your thoughts throughout that as well. And off he goes.
Moving on to the other nominees.
Yes.
Like I mentioned, I was in Camp DeBose for the longest time.
You were.
I'm out of breath because I ran a cat upstairs.
Yes. No, I'll talk about Ariana DeBose, obviously a big fan favorite, not just for Connor, but for a lot of audience members.
Yeah, she's sweeping right now.
Yeah, I mean, at least when it comes to trying to fill the shoes of Rita Moreno, that's hard shoes to fill, and a lot of people feel like she did a great job. She updated it without losing the original feeling and understanding of a character.
We're probably going to say something very special again, where she's going to join Joaquin and Heath and Marlon and Robert in 2 actors winning for the same part.
And another one I would like to mention is a performance that I was treated to just 24 hours ago in the form of Riley Keough for Zola. Yeah. Wow, what a movie.
Yeah, it's a bonkers ride.
That is a bonkers ride. If you haven't seen Zola...
It's heckled short, but full of suspense.
Oh my goodness. And I guess moving on to the next category, Best Supporting Actor. And the nominees are Robin DeJesus for Tick, Tick, Boom, Mike Feist, West Side Story, Oscar Isaac for Dune, Benicio del Toro for The French Dispatch, and Troy Kotsur for Coda. And the winner is Mike Feist for West Side Story.
I think this is probably a little bit of a pleasant surprise, considering he's lost at every turn to kind of our second choice.
Yes.
Which is Troy Kotsur. But Mike Feist, let's talk about this guy, because come on.
Oh my goodness,
he's great.
What a performance.
I had a feeling going in, same thing with Blank Check guys, they're like, Mike Feist is going to be killer. And the movie opens, and he's electric from frame 1. The second he comes out of the excavator, you're like, who is this guy?
Yeah.
With his, like, his wife beater and his open shirt, like, who is this guy?
Yeah, he's something else, man. A real acting tour de force. Someone I really hope will continue to be in movies.
He's in that Luca Guadagnino picture coming out,
which I'm excited for.
He's gonna play tennis. I'm so excited.
Oh man, Mike Feist playing tennis. Could watch that for hours.
I can't wait. Him and Zendaya. as a tennis couple.
Playing tennis.
That's all I need.
Good.
He brings such a sensitivity to Riff, especially in that scene in the bar where he's buying the gun.
Thank goodness.
Like, it's bonkers. Like, I feel for this guy. He's losing his friend and losing his home, and he's just lost, and he's never had anyone who actually cares for him except for Tony.
And you see these walls closing in on him, and that's what just motivates all of his actions here. And it's so visceral. You can just feel it.
Yeah.
In a really cool way.
Anyway, we could talk about X-Files for hours.
I have to ask. Do you have a rocket
in your pocket?
In your pocket.
No, I try to stay cool, boy.
Yes.
Anyway.
All right, so moving on to Best Actress. Connor, who are the nominees?
The nominees for Best Actress are Kristen Stewart, Spencer, Rachel Zegler, West Side Story, Alana Haim, Licorice Pizza, Thomasin McKenzie, Last Night in Soho, and Emilia Jones, Coda. Sorry I chuckled. I said Licorice Pizza. So weird.
You did?
I went, Licorice Pizza.
Licorice Pizza.
Anyway, the Andy goes to Kristen Stewart, Spencer. Which, yeah, we talked a lot about earlier. The cinematography and the sensitivity of Princess Diana. And obviously, you really can't achieve that effect without Kristen Stewart's incredible performance. Yeah. There's someone you need to connect with.
Exactly. Yeah. And that is Kristen Stewart in Spencer. Oh, man. I think for us, in some way, this was always going to be the winner.
She is my favorite performance of the year.
Same.
Tied with my the best actor winner for this year.
Yeah, my favorite leading performance.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably Kristen Stewart or Spencer.
Yeah.
It's just such a... it's been a while since we've gotten a performance like this from Kristen Stewart. I mean, is this her best? I think it was like a look back.
I would say so.
I think it is. I think this is her currently at her peak.
I love performance of hers that is pretty early on in her career that no one talks about.
I know what you're talking about. Adventureland.
Yes.
You really like Adventureland.
It's one of my favorite films of all time. Like Steve says, friend of the show Steve, that every person has their coming of age movie. Mine is Adventureland. I just connect to that thing so incredibly well. And that's here's the thing. There's some things that do not age well in Adventureland. That I'm not a huge fan of, but mainly the treatment of one character in particular. But still, very incredible, solid movie. And Kristen Stewart, incredible in that motion picture. But here, she's unrivaled.
This is just a level of maturation from Kristen Stewart that I think a lot of people have been waiting for maybe 5 years.
Yeah,
it's a watershed moment. I think. I'm not sure how popular this movie is in the grand scheme. It's not. It's not popular in the grand scheme of existence when it comes to Hollywood and just cinema communities, mainstream.
When it comes to the normies, when it comes to people who think this is not a diss, I'm referring explicitly to the 2015 Oscars with Chris Rock hosted, where they asked people on the street what they think should win Best Picture.
Yeah.
And a majority of people said Furious 7. So that's the thing. This is not for the people who think Furious 7 should win Best Picture.
Yeah.
This is for people who think, like me, that probably this is not saying anything for the Andes, but the West Side Story should win Best Picture. So it's kind of a thing.
An option, it's up there for me at least.
Yeah, I'm talking about the Oscars, by the way. I didn't just spoil our own Best Picture, or maybe I did. Who knows? But anyway, it's for people like me.
Yeah.
Or let's back to 2015. People who think Room should have won Best Picture.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's.
Oh, you know what? I forgot about Personal Shopper. I really like.
Yeah.
This edges Personal Shopper, but I do enjoy.
And here's the thing. I like Clouds of Sils Maria, where she won her César.
Which is awesome.
But yeah, no, Kristen Stewart's incredible. Like, here's the thing. The fact that we forgot two incredible performances shows how great she is. That literally, we can forget two incredible performances and still talk about two equally, in my opinion, incredible performances.
Yeah, I mean, this is obviously something we've talked about Kristen Stewart's career earlier in the show. It was season 2, which feels like a very different
pre-pandemic.
It was February 2020, and we were just shooting the stuff, watching Invisible Man, and instituting the Andes.
Very quickly hitting on my second and third choice.
Yeah.
Which Amelia Jones actually kind of is a tie for my third choice with Lana Heim, but Rachel Zegler, incredible debut performance. Someone I really hope sticks around for a long time. I'm excited for Shazam 2, and I'm excited for Snow White, and I'm so excited for everything she does beyond this point. Lana Heim, same thing. I don't think she's gonna do much acting. Maybe she'll show up in a couple more PTAs. Yeah. But I don't see her really choosing this as a career path, at least not right now in her life.
Me neither. But she's got the band.
Yeah, she's got Heim.
She's literally got Heim, which was also in this movie.
Yeah, no, but Lana Heim, tour de force debut. I think she's incredible. And while Kristen was obviously my first choice, her and Rachel were kind of neck and neck for me in terms of if Dan for some reason doesn't want Kristen Stewart, I'm really gonna really fight for either Rachel or Lana to take home the Andy. And then 3-time nominee, 1-time winner Thomasin McKenzie.
I think for me, one of my big picks was putting Thomasin McKenzie for Best Actress, and this was I need to be honest here because this is something we don't hear the Academy say enough. She deserves it for Last Night in Soho, and this is I take every performance. I try to put it in a vacuum as I can, and Thomasin McKenzie has just been on a hell of a hot streak for years.
Yeah,
we have gotten Jojo Rabbit, True History of the Kelly Gang, and now Last Night in Soho.
Yes, and she's good in the 2 scenes she's in Power of the Dog.
Yes, so good time.
Yeah, good time.
I'm happy that Thomasin McKenzie made it again.
Yeah,
Thomasin, always. We're waiting
on
you.
Yeah.
We're waiting for you to accept your win, and also, hey, you got nominated 2 other times. Yeah. You're the most nominated person on this award show.
Until either Brad Pitt or Oscar Isaac get a 3rd nomination. And then Amelia Jones for Coda. I gushed about her during the nominations episode.
It's
incredible.
Definitely a shared comfort performance for us.
Yeah, she's incredible in that movie. Memorize that sign language after losing the study guide. Bonkers.
Yeah, just read up on Amelia Jones's journey to getting this role and being in this role for Coda, and you will be amazed. But yeah, moving on to Best Actor. I believe I'm announcing this.
Yeah, you're announcing Best Actor. Yeah.
The nominees all: Jason Isaacs for Mass, Daniel Kaluuya for Judas and the Black Messiah, Oscar Isaac for The Called Counter, Andrew Garfield for Tick Tick Boom, and Bradley Cooper for Nightmare Alley. And the winner is Oscar Isaac for The Called Counter.
Yeah. If you guys listen to the Andy's nomination episode and or just know me as a person and know Dan as a person by extension, you knew this was coming.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Good time. Good time on The Called Counter.
Good time? Question mark? Card Counter is a bad time, but the best time at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
It's Willem Dafoe walking like this with the fisheye lens.
it's like a photo squashed Willem Dafoe.
It's the most bonkers stuff.
He looks like a gremlin or something.
His choice to shoot the stuff in, I guess we'd call it a prison. In of extreme fisheye,
is the most extreme fisheye I have ever seen in a movie.
A 1mm lens.
1mm lens. It's basically a sphere at that point.
Exactly.
It's just a sensor and a sphere.
Oscar Isaac. Once again, going back to sensitivity, this guy is so messed up, to say the very least.
Yeah.
This guy's been through it.
And Oscar Isaac, again, strong acting performance. Yeah. One of our favorites of the year. Displays that shockingly well.
Yeah.
He plays it. I mean, we've seen him. I think we've now, this past decade, seen a really amazing spectrum of what Oscar Isaac can do as an actor. And this is a new corner of him we haven't seen before, and it's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
You know?
No, ever since being introduced to him with Inside Llewyn Davis, I've consistently been like, this guy's incredible.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see everything he does in the future. My throat is dying.
Yeah, I'm so glad we have this water. I'm almost out, but we only have 2 categories left. Thank goodness. We are down to the final 2.
The final 2. The big ones.
We have Best Director.
Yeah.
Here we go.
So, the nominees for Best Director are Pablo Larraín for Spencer, Shaka King Judas and the Black Messiah, Chloe Zhao for Nomadland, Denis Villeneuve for Dune, and Steven Spielberg, West Side Story. And the Andy goes to Pablo Larraín, Spencer.
Wow.
Which, bonkers.
Bonkers win. I didn't see that one coming at all.
No, if you recall, Dan, when we announced, we read on our winners, we had a process where we'd each count to 3
Yes.
and then say our winner out loud. And we both said Pablo Larraín. So halfway through me saying Pablo Larraín, I went, whoa.
Yeah.
I went,
no, we were both kind of
whoa.
shocked that we agreed on this.
Yeah.
And it felt great.
I think you're going to pull a fast one and go with Chloe Zhao for Nomadland.
Well, she's my number 2.
Yeah.
The thing is, I don't like...
If this were last year...
and we actually had time to watch, if we hadn't cut ourselves off...
Yeah.
I mean, again, Nomadland is my favorite movie from 2021.
Yeah,
and let me say that again, 2021.
Yeah.
This is not a 2020 movie. I know it started in festivals, but in the Andy's verse, it's a 2021 movie.
And despite being categorized as 2021 for the Oscars last year too. Same with Judas, who is also obviously represented in this category, Shaka King.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, if it wasn't for, Denis, Spielberg, Shaka, and Pablo being in the exact same category, Chloe would have ran away with it.
Yeah.
No offense to
she just had a better chance last year with the
who
other
knows
movies coming out.
if she would have beat Justin Kurzel last year or not. Who's to say? I
really don't know what would have
who's
happened,
to say?
honestly.
But yeah, no, Pablo Larraín for Spencer. I mentioned Claire Mathon's outstanding 60mm work and Kristen Stewart's outstanding performance. But he has such a masterful control of this camera, and just there's a few times since graduating where I've had my love of film reinvigorated, I'm Frankenstein and electricity.
Someone's
of,
flipped
cinema.
the switch. Eagles flipped the switch back, and Connor's been like, "Whoa,
yeah, cinema." Exactly." And I'm like, this is a movie. And I love Spencer, and I cannot wait to watch it 1,000 more times. And just because of all the aspects we talked about today, where it's just
it's beautiful, it's haunting, it is representational of so much, and it all comes from this creative pull of Pablo Larraín, who, we said this in the nominations episode, also known for Jackie. Yeah. And we're waiting on Ono.
We're working on Yoko Ono,
We're working on Yoko Ono.
But
moving on to Steven Spielberg.
What can I say? It's Spielberg. Yeah. The guy's good.
He's just continuing to drop really good movies.
Yeah. Some would say he's the greatest of all time. I'm not quite there yet.
Greatest American director of all time?
People are saying just of all time.
I know of all time, but that feels unfair. I'm talking about American culture.
If you're talking about the greatest American director of all time,
maybe most influential on the industry.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I'd put him up there for sure.
Because there is no greatest director of all time.
Yes, there is. Hominy
Korine. That's right.
We all know this. Hominy Korine stole the show, and all have to live in the shadow of knowing the greatest director.
Before people turn off this episode, I want them to let you know that Dan is joking.
I'm completely joking.
Dan is kidding. Dan is not a Gummo stan. I'm just making that very clear.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
We both Spring Breakers is a time, and
Spring Breakers is the episode of Film And that never happened.
Yes,
that's what we were going to talk about if
Spring Break Apocalypse.
Spring Break Apocalypse Now.
Yeah.
And we never got around to it because the pandemic happened. Yeah. Connor got sent home, and we were separated until the fall, and we just kind of left those episodes in the dust.
Yeah. No, very good movies, though. Spring Breakers and Apocalypse Now.
Yeah. I mean, one, I know why I love it. The other will continue to just confuse me maybe for the rest of my life. One day, maybe I will know how I feel about Spring Breakers.
Maybe.
Folks, we've made it to the final category, Best Picture. If you're still here, thank you so much for listening. This is the big one.
Yeah.
And the nominees all...
Are we doing you read one, I read one?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Nomadland.
Spencer.
The Beatles, Get Back.
West Side Story.
The French Dispatch.
Dune.
Mass.
The Card Counter.
And Coda. And Connor, the envelope, please.
Am I opening it or am I giving it?
I'm just going to say, grab the envelope.
I'm pausing for dramatic effect. Like I'm acting like I'm shocked. You know, they can't see me.
I'm also a bit shocked right now because we're about to pull this little piece of paper out.
Best Picture.
Yeah.
At the 2022 Andy Awards is Spencer.
Whoa.
Like we knew it, but yeah. Here's the thing, guys. I think Spencer won 6 Andys today.
It's accidentally swept. Yeah. This thing mopped the floor with everybody else.
And you could probably guess that by the 6 Andy wins.
Yeah.
Here's the funny thing is, Dan, before this, I believe both Lighthouse and True History only won 3. No, Lighthouse also won actor for Pattinson. So Lighthouse won 4.
Yeah.
But yeah. So Spencer's kind of bucking the trend a little bit, and we're like having a big sweep, which we did not anticipate.
Yeah, but it's well deserved. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, this is for us.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not sure where this ranks on your top 10 movies of 2021.
It's my number 2. It is right behind Nomadland for me.
Yeah.
Which Nomadland obviously did not win Best Picture this year.
Yeah.
And we do not love Nomadland any less.
Yeah.
I just think, like, the thing of Best Picture, it's the best movie of the year, but it's also one that has to have, like, you feel like is a cultural mainstay and an artifact of this time, really.
Yes.
And I think Spencer is that, especially for this year.
Yeah. It's funny because me and Connor's top 5 of the best movie, just all personal favorite movies of 2021, very similar. My number 1, Nomadland, and number 2, Spencer.
Yeah.
This thing is... I mean, we've gushed about it enough. It just deserves it.
It does.
Everything, the performances and the visuals, the creative direction, and the intent behind trying to tell this version of Princess Dia's story, you know?
She was so torn apart by, like, disapproval of the royal family, and she kind of felt like she was letting the people down at the same time by, like, being disapproved of by the royal family because she was the people's princess. Mm-hmm. It's interesting how, like, judgment and love both tore her apart in equal measure, which is a very interesting thing. But
and there's still, what I love is this film still leaves you sometimes on slightly hopeful notes. There's always little cracks of light that Princess Di finds, especially through her children.
Yeah, she ends the movie happy with her 2 kids, which I think was a very brilliant choice.
I love just getting the food.
They're just getting KFC.
And they're being people. They're being people again.
No,
you know?
Dan, this movie has 1,000 great scenes.
Mm-hmm.
But the one where I was in the theater, which I saw Spencer in a theater. It was such a great experience to watch Spencer in a theater.
You lucky dog.
It was so great. But the scene where she's with William and Harry in their bedroom late at night, where they have the candle, and they're playing the game.
Oh my goodness.
That's the scene where I was like, "There's no way Kristen doesn't." Here's the thing. I said, there's no way Kristen doesn't win the Oscar. It looks like the Academy's going to slip on a banana peel and not do that.
Yeah, but they're very good at that.
They're very good at slipping on some banana peels.
Yeah.
But in that moment, I was like, this movie's not just good, it is great.
Yeah.
Like, it's reached a point where it's like, this is definitely one of the best performances I've seen in a long time and one of the best films I've seen in a long time.
And I am so happy that we get to recognize it here on the Andes. A big thank you to the entire production team of Spencer for making this happen, for letting us love it, and this is our gift to you, a PDF certificate. I mean,
dude, Spencer, anyone involved with this movie, if you are a PA on Spencer, if you I don't know, if you did anything on this movie, if you designed the typeface for the poster, please accept this Andy. I want to be your friend.
Yes.
So, but thank you so much for listening, guys, to the 3rd Annual Andy Awards.
Yeah, that is it.
We couldn't do this show or obviously have an award show of this caliber. Well, of a caliber at all, I guess.
Of a caliber.
A caliber.
Of any caliber.
Yeah. But with Dan's tenure on Filmman coming to an end this year, who knows if there will be a 4th Andes? There might not be. And if there's not... Which, here's it. Me and Dan are going to keep doing this.
Yeah.
It might not be called the Andes. It might be called Name I'm Going to Tell Dan in a Minute Here. That is a play on my podcast, To Watch, To Read.
Yeah.
Which I think is a very clever name for an award show, which we'll get to. But whether or not there's a 4th Andes or not, I'm going to talk to our supervisor at Champlain, or probably Dan should because he still is the host.
Yeah.
And be like, hey, can we keep the name Andy's?
I'm going to ask if we can. I'd love to.
Because like we just do this once a year. We would do the Andy Awards. But thank you for listening, guys. It really does mean a lot that you guys listen to us and that you care about the Andys and you love movies just as much as we do. It's a true blessing. So thank you guys.
And I guess to wrap things up, again, if you ever want to hear about any of the movies we talk about on this show, you can go to my Letterboxd list at DA_N. That is DA_N. Now, we're only going to put on the movies that are the winning movies of the Andys. But anything else from previous episodes, it's right there. If you want to see any of the movies we've talked about in the first 4 seasons, you can go to Connor's Letterboxd. That's Cranberry18. That is CRAND Berry 18. And I will be making the long trek back to the Film and offices tomorrow, actually, in time to edit and release this episode. But I will probably be back with part 2 of my Peter Jackson tier list coming this following Friday. So if you're excited for that, we have way more movies to talk about in that one because I only covered the first 5. But as always, thank you so much to Connor for coming on, being on the Andys. This is all thing. You know? Like,
it's our show. Yeah, it's our baby.
Yeah, and you'll be hearing from me next week. See ya.
Bye, guys.
And here is the envelope, Connor.
Here, let me actually grab a real envelope really quick.
Oh, you gonna grab one?
Yeah.
You have one?
Yeah.
Cool.
I should have grabbed it earlier, but I didn't.
That's all right.
Hi, Bucky.
I'm currently alone. He has left me in this void. And I wonder when he shall return with the envelopes for the Andys. It has been 20 years since I have seen my friend Connor. A long 20 years. I felt every minute of it. Nah, he's coming back. Did you find him? Yeah. Yay.
Hey, sorry I'm out of breath. I had to grab an envelope from one of our accountants. He was on Twitter again.
Yep.
That is a reference to the